Hey guys, it's Eric from Fun Intelligent Training. What I'm going to do here, I have a private client that would like for me to explain some of the bodyweight movements that we utilize frequently. For him, a lot of these are part of his warm-up. But for everyone else, these are some of the most basic movements that we use in everything that we do. So great review and good for those of you that are on trips and looking for some things to do. So first and foremost, sorry if I'm looking down, I got my list right here, is the squat. With the squat, what we're going to do, we're going to set our feet up somewhere around shoulder width apart. Toes are pointed out ever so slightly, nice proud chest. So chest out, shoulders back, eyes are out in front of you. From here we're going to soften the knees, break at the hips. Knees are going to follow the same path your toes are pointing while you keep your torso upright, heels stay flat on the ground, so your weight stays on your heels. If you want to put your arms out in front of you to counterbalance, that's a-okay. Actively push those knees out to the side. Inhale down. Your goal is to get to the point where you have parallel upper legs, so your femur is parallel. And exhale up. So once again, chest out, knees out. Inhale down, exhale up, keeping your weight on your heels. That's the bodyweight squat. Next up, we're going to do a good morning. And I tried to set the camera up so you can get a little bit different angle in the mirror here. I'm not sure how it'll come out, so I may end up turning sideways so you can see this as well. Good morning, we have a little bit more of a narrow base. Feet are about hip width apart. Once again, starting with that nice, proud chest. From here, we're going to soften our knees a few degrees and then lock them right there. Knees don't move anymore. Now all the movement is at the hips. So we're going to hinge at the hips, pushing your hips back behind you, keeping your shoulder blades back, keeping your eyes slightly out in front of you. Inhale down, exhale up. Once again, soften the knees, hips back, shoulders back. Inhale down, exhale up. So we're trying to avoid, as we come down, dropping our eyes and dropping our shoulders. That rounds the back, that's bad news. So once again, shoulders back, eyes up, makes for a nice flat back. I just have some soft knees as I come back up. That is the good morning. Next up is a Spider-Man lunge. So with the Spider-Man lunge, what you're going to do is set yourself up in push-up position. And now we're going to do what we call a Spider-Man lunge. So Spider-Man lunge, you're going to set yourself up in a push-up position. So wrists under your shoulders, nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels. From here, I'm going to take my right foot, bring it up next to my right hand. Notice my foot is nice and flat on the ground. My knee is coming out to the side. I'm pushing my hip forward towards my heel, getting a nice stretch through those hips. I'm going to replace that foot. Left foot up next to your left hand, heel flat on the ground, hip forward towards your heel, eyes looking out in front of you. And replace. A lot of different variations off of that we can go into. That's the Spider-Man lunge. Next up is a bootstrapper. With the bootstrapper, we're going to set ourselves up just like we did with the squat. So, feet about shoulder width, toes pointed out, nice proud chest. Starting position, we're going to drop down into the bottom of your squat. So I'm going to push my knees out, keeping my chest out, dropping my butt down. Hopefully your knees don't sound like that. I like to put my hands on my toes. When I'm down here, I'm going to push out on my knees with my elbows. From here, you're going to take a deep breath to get ready. Exhale as you extend your knees and lift your hips. Extending those knees as much as you can, get a nice stretch in your hamstring. Inhale as you come back down. Once again, knees out, getting your hips as low as you can. Exhale up, inhale down, nice and slow and steady. That's a bootstrapper. Okay guys, next up, we're going to do a plank. Plank is one of the most simple exercises in the world, but incredibly effective, works a whole bunch of muscles. So with the plank, we're going to have your elbows situated directly underneath your shoulders, nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels, and that's all you need to do is maintain this positioning. Now what you need to focus on in everything that we do, especially with isometric or static exercises like this, if you're not focusing on your breathing with the movement of repetitions, then oftentimes people can make the mistake of holding their breath. So be very cognizant of breathing here. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Notice I'm not with my hips low like this, and notice that I don't have my hips up into the sky. This is one of the most common mistakes we see. People get fatigued and go here. That's no good. We want that nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels. That is the plank. After the plank, we're going into the push-up. So, with push-ups, Once again, wrists are under your shoulders. They can be a little bit wider depending on your preference, but what I want you to focus on, your wrists are not going to be way out in front of you. A lot of people have a tendency, especially when they're beginning, to set themselves up in this manner here, so their elbows go way out like that. That's putting your shoulders in a really compromised position. So once again, wrists under your shoulders, nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels. You're going to inhale down, chest comes just off the deck. Notice my upper arms are parallel, and notice my elbows are pointing back behind me at a little bit of an angle. You don't want your elbows straight up from your shoulders. Exhale up. So inhale down, exhale up, full extension at the top, ensuring that our upper arms are horizontal to the floor. If you need to modify that, drop to your knees, nice straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Inhale down, exhale up. Once again, the most common mistake we see, people pop their hips back, and guess what that just did? That put my hands way out in front of me. Guess what happens when I go down? That's in that compromised position. So really focus keeping those hips forward, keeping your wrists under your shoulders, having your elbows come back at a little bit of an angle from your shoulders. Let's push up. Kettlebell deadlift. The kettlebell deadlift is the same exact thing as the good morning. Difference being, now we are loaded. So, start with that bell just in front of your toes. Nice proud chest, soften the knees, hinge at the hips. We're going with a double overhand grip. Exhale as you stand up nice and tall, keeping those shoulder blades back, hips fully extended. Soften the knees, pushing those hips back, keeping your shoulders back, keeping your eyes slightly in front. Inhale down, exhale up. As a default, when we say a kettlebell deadlift, we're going with a hip dominant movement. We will stipulate if we're going to go knee dominant. So we default our kettlebell deadlifts to that hip dominant movement. Next up is Supermans. So with the Supermans, we're going to lay down flat on your stomach, fingernails as far away from your toenails as you can get them. Take a deep breath to get ready. Exhale as you lift your hands and your feet. Inhale as you come back down. With these, I tend to like to start people 1 breath per motion, so your breathing is going to regulate your tempo. Once again, exhale up, inhale down, nice and slow and steady. Exhale up, inhale down. That is the Superman. Now we're going with band pulls. So for this particular client, I gave him 3 different planes. There's all sorts of different things we can do with it. We have a nice light band here to start with. The great thing about these bands, well, there's lots. Very inexpensive, very portable, and you can adjust your resistance and do a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. So the wider you start your grip, the easier this is going to be. Once again, maintaining that good upright posture. So with this client, I have him doing it starting straight out here. Take a deep breath to get ready. Exhale, arms remain extended, pulling that band right in towards your chest. Inhale as you return. You can come a little bit higher. Exhale, we're coming to the top of the collarbones. Inhale, or you can come to your forehead. Exhale, and inhale. So once again, the rule of thumb, you exhale when you exert. From there, we're going with alternate lunges. Starting with that good upright posture, nice proud chest. You're going to step forward a little bit longer than your normal stride. So if my normal stride is here, I'm going to go another probably 6 inches further. What I want you to think about with your lunge, maintaining that good posture, your rear knee goes straight down, just shy of, just shy of touching the ground. So you're going to inhale down, exhale up, bring my feet right back together. Now I'm going to switch to the left foot. A little bit longer than my normal stride, nice proud chest, rear knee straight down, inhale down, exhale up. Trying to avoid here is having that front knee move forward beyond your toes. Okay, so oftentimes people think on a lunge, they're going to push their rear knee forward. That lifts my rear heel, pushes my front knee forward, compromises that position. So once again, nice proud chest, step forward, rear knee straight down, just shy of touching the ground. Exhale as you drive up, feet right together, focus on that footwork. Pop, pop, and switch sides.